Welcome back, everyone. It's the Aces NFL show. It's championship week. It's Christmas. It's the train me sip. I've got the meatball behind me and the rat. You've got Guinea. Can you believe it that you've made me wear this toilet paper on me? I've got the Steelers today just to remind everyone that King Henry goes up against the best running defense and just said, that's the best you got, boys. I told you he would respond. Oh, it's a big week, though.
You did it to me last week with the Giants, so I had to return the favour and let you put it on, mate.
V you in the fantasy championship week.
What else would you expect, mate? All right. Wow. Giddy and I have come from 6th. Really just thought, hey, we'll just tone it down a little bit, and then bang, we just all guns blazing, and it's championship week, and here we are.
Oh boy!
Hey, all the pressure's on you, by the way. 13-1.
We've lost one game for the whole year.
You know, so all the pressure's on you. But hey, great result.
I feel like you're Eli Manning, and I'm Tom Brady. I feel like something dirty's going to do, something late, some freak catch will cost us the point.
Sorry, Joe. I mean, when Jalen does that. But look, when you drop 140, I don't think it was going to matter anyway, son. But anyway.
Bit of context here, guys. Sip and Guinea went bananas with 140.
We did. We finally got a quarterback that got over 15 points, which was excellent.
Played Herbert with a sore ankle. Wasn't that a great... Yeah, big balls. And I took him under and he rushed about 30 yards, and so did Mahomes. Like, work that out. You got a sore ankle. Apparently you can run further. Yeah. But just to go through the fantasy, because a lot of people wouldn't understand this, Boyd Cordner, remember I told you he beat me to the Atlanta waivers, and I ended up snagging Ford, who was outstanding. But Falcons put up 26 and kept him in the game. So he lost to us by 0.06. Yeah. But we've got Jordan Love to play today.
So that's right. So you're basically home, I would say. But hey, Boydie.
Imagine Love throws a pick 6 and gets knocked out first play and we lose. That's the only way we can lose.
That is true.
I shouldn't be carrying on right now. It's not a lock. It's not a lock, but you'd think we are. And then, so championship week, so to everyone out there.
He left Keenan on the bench though.
I know.
Oh well.
Boydo's the champ. You know
Boydo's champ.
He's won 2 out of 3 or whatever, and he has cleaned up. Yeah. He's taken so much cash off all of us.
That's great.
And I thought he's going to do it again. He's going to beat us.
But I love what the other end is going to do, though, the old toilet bowl. We've got to have a chat about that,
Griffin, who was in that toilet bowl? I think it was Benny Graham, wasn't it?
Yeah, Benny.
What have you given Benny Graham nightmares?
I made him nervous. I may have made him a little bit nervous.
You've come in and said, Benny, I'm now the king. And I'm looking at this, but Griffin Logue and Steve-O have taken Benny Graham down in the toilet bowl.
Yeah, look, hey, we came up with the rules. There's a punishment on the line. I don't know what involved.
How many times have I put in the WhatsApp group? Boys, what's the punishment? And they go a bit quiet.
They do. Because they're nervous. They don't. The boys down the bottom there don't want to say much.
When you're on top, I'm trying to be humble on the top, you know. Normally I'm spraying blokes going, why would you leave?
Bring it up again.
I'm just worried about our own backyard and trying to win this thing.
That's fair enough. It's a big week. It is a big week.
It is a big week. Just to give everyone an insight into our team, we might as well go through our team just really quickly. This is our team. So we've got Jordan Love, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Nico Collins, DJ Moore, George Kittle, T. Higgins, Jerome Ford, and then we've got Philly's defense on the bench. I've got Garendo, who is out, Palmer, Hill, and Algiers. There's nothing great on the bench. Garendo, if he can start next week, it would be a tough decision, but he plays Miami, so I'm not too sure. Actually, sorry, he doesn't play Miami. They played him this week. He would play Detroit. And if I looked at Detroit's, they've got a pretty good run D, so you probably don't want to play him. And then go to your team.
Well, our last week's team, this week's team still, Justin Herbert, Devon Achane, Buck Irving, AJ Brown, CD Lamb, Brenton Strange, but we'll probably change that for Oten next week, Lad McConkey, Smith Najigba, Minnesota Vikings defense, and on the bench we had CJ Stroud, Alvin Kamara out injured, Amari Cooper, and as I just mentioned, Cade Otton on the bench as well. So we've got some options, my friend, and obviously we are relying on some guys being a bit healthy. If we can get Kamara back in there somewhere, that would be absolutely huge. And if Otton's healthy, then he's probably coming straight back in as well against a Carolina opposition that does allow a fair bit to the tight end. So it's a big week, my friend. It's a big week. But Two pretty solid teams.
Hey, all the best.
All the best.
Big dog. We've had a few bets. The jersey's on the way. What do we? I mean, I don't really need anything. There's a lot of cash at hand here.
There's a fair bit on the line, mate. So we'll see.
I don't know with how it is.
I am.
Well, maybe we wear a little crown. I'm going to go buy a crown.
Maybe the
next
king
week.
crown or something comes in. Who knows? But I can't wait.
Guinea. I know Guinea's been chirping behind the scenes. You're going to need 150 to beat us, big boy, because we've been scoring 140 every week.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
I reckon
no better week than next week, son. Here we go.
It's going to be big. It's going to be big. I tell you what wasn't big was our best bets.
Oh,
probably going to need to apologise, but I think this is what I'm going to start with. I'm not going to blame anyone, but I was talking to you, we need someone to curate our tips from the podcast.
We almost do.
I listened to it back and we gave out some gems. You know, Tank Dell in the slot. You said Mixon under. We knew Dowdle under. Like Derek Henry. All these guys.
Keenan,
and when it comes to that Sunday night post, we keep going these mainstream blokes that I'm going to talk about in a second who are now on the list of never touch again. And Tyreek Hill will lead that. But anyway, disappointing.
Yep.
But it's all about McBride.
Yes.
McBride, is he the biggest villain of the year?
He has to be. The amount of people that would have loaded up on McBride is like through the roof.
He had a stinker as well.
Well, Kyler is the issue. Kyler can't come out on a public forum and go, here we go, mate. It's going to be time. It's going to happen. And he doesn't. Not only did he not even get a touchdown, he got 20 total yards.
And
against a Carolina team that is like third last when it comes to the tight end.
And knocked them out of, they can't postseason, they're done.
That's right.
They had to win that
game. They had to win that game.
Lost to the Panthers.
Unbelievable.
The 5'10" cup.
And it's 36-30. So there's scoring involved in that. And McBride was not part of it at all. Yep, I get it. Connor had a great matchup against him as well, which we did mention. But give it to those two guys. Connor was out. Connor was injured or something halfway through the third or something like that. Like, there you go. McBride, happy days. I could not believe it. You can't tell me that Carolina's done something special in their defense to allow that to happen. All of a sudden, there's nothing going on. Yeah. Shocked me. Enemy number one.
Ruined our best bets of the year. We went 3 from 3 at that point. Now it's 3 from 4. Still hot, but probably one more there. But it was just disappointing. Yeah. I watched the game. You know the worst part was, I put a $15 12-leg touchdown scorer multi on, and guess what? I hit 7 from 8 in the first window. And you know how they give you a little cash out? And McBride was the last one, and the cash out was $600 SIP. And they're on the goal line twice. And I'm like, I put it on twice. So I was going to let anyway. And I'm sitting there going, I have wasted all of this. And McBride, I'm like, he's my best bet of the week. And I'm starting to get nervous here. There was about a quarter to go, and Kyler runs one in, and I went, And then they were down again. And then the worst part, this is the next worst part, is the fucking overtime rules.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. In NBA, you go beautiful. In NFL, you're cooked.
Disaster.
Because they just kick field goals if you're the second team. They should have to score a tutty first. Yeah.
Well, you do have to normally score a tutty first, but it's only the first team that gets to. But both teams should have a crack at trying to score. Even if the first team scores, you got to
So overtime, you're cooked anyway, unless you win the toss and score.
Good.
So it was a disaster. Yeah. But as I said, if there's anyone listening that loves their NFL and has got a bit of spare time, I'd love you just to dissect our tips. Because we give out a couple of gems on every game.
Yeah.
And then just remind us of where all our energy went, because I felt like RB focuses moving forward is what we need to do.
Well,
we've kind of tended to go receivers and like blokes like Tyreek Hill with no Waddle. How he gets 29 yards and a touchdown and they win. Idea. I mean, fuck me. What is going on with McDaniels?
I have no idea.
Who's calling all these plays? Like Jonnu Smith is a beast. I love him. Yeah. But how does he get way more targets than Tyreek Hill?
I don't know. That is a mystery. Definitely don't have an answer for that one. That is a dead set mystery.
Anyway,
we go through last week's one. We mentioned Chase. Chase had a great game. Gibbs, smash hit. Moore still got yards, maybe just short, but still pretty good. Wilson was close. Puka, Saquon, smash hit. Absolutely out of the park. Hockenson, DK, all good. Run game for Buffalo was right there. Cook scored two tutties. Thomas Jr., 125 yards, tutty. Hill, Kittle, good. And then we obviously were on wide receiver watch with Tampa and the Cowboys. Like we're doing our part. I think we just need to just show that out to everybody there, and then you guys choose, basically. So
we have been recapping at the end, haven't we?
We're recapping and giving you all the information if we need to, and We'll hit. Don't worry about that. We're going to hit.
I'm looking
We're
at our
going to
notes
hit.
here. We're recording this before the Green Bay Saints game, and it says Watson deep ball.
Let's hope so.
So if anyone out there is wondering what me and Sip are doing, Watson deep ball means Watson tutty. We're going to load up.
Oh, that's excellent.
So if that happens,
excellent.
But McBride, best of the year. You make me sick.
Yeah, McBride hurt a lot in that one, and no doubt there would have been. He wasn't the only one. The other one we mentioned Tyreek.
He did score a tutty.
He did score a tutty, but still though, like, you know, as you said, if you've got no Waddle, he's the guy. Like, how was he not getting 100?
You know what?
How?
I hope he is the guy next week because your man A-Chain might go. Hopefully he doesn't get a touch because I'm in another league, Sip, and I'll shout out to my man Alex Pearce from the Fremantle Dockers. He's a captain, but I'm going head-to-head with him, and I'll give you the rundown. I need 19 from Love today, right? I need 19, and I'll tell you why I need 19 because A-Chain went for a fucking 70-yard touchdown late when he didn't, and he should have. You know they normally kneel.
No, he went through.
He went, I'm going through.
Yeah.
And he scored.
It was massive.
I know. So now, and I went, bad luck, boys. All the best.
It was funny. I saw the score being like 22-17 or something like that, whatever it was, and A-Chain had maybe like 14 points or something like that. And it was like, he was all right. He's doing well. And then that one at the end was unreal.
He went from 14 to 29. Oh. So now I'm chasing. So I only needed 4 from Jordan Love. Now I need like 20.
You need him to play well. It's a good opportunity against this depleted Saints team, so I'll tell you that. Wow. I'm in another league as well, and I need Green Bay's defense to score 14 points.
Okay. Well,
no Kamara. Rattler's now is the starting quarterback.
Rattler's all right.
I do, but he's also very, very he wants to make plays so badly that he also gives up a bit. So I need 13 or 14 points from Green Bay's defense today. It's tight.
The Saints, early in the year, not in week 6, I took the unders.
Yeah.
And there was a minute to go, and the backup quarterback come on for Rattler when he got corked.
Yeah. Hayner.
Yeah, and on the last minute, he just did a touchdown drive because the seconds were on. So that's the only problem with these defenses when you're smacking teams. Yeah. They put all their backups on, and they have a little soft drive to finish the game because it's a confidence builder.
I'm just hoping there's a few big picks or a pick 6 in there to really just bump up the score. So then there's
going to be a lot of sacks, mate.
I would say so, yeah.
Anyway, move on. Let's go quick here. News, Tank Dell out for the season.
Nasty.
Nasty. Deontay Johnson picked up off waivers, which is a pretty big win considering he's obviously a basket case, but he might go, well, I'm a chance, and he might just change his mindset because he's been sacked pretty much 3 times in a year. Yeah. He's a really good pickup. But Tank Dell, mate, just as we got him going as well, he was one of our better bets on the program being in the slot against the Chiefs.
Yeah. He was flying too. It was, nasty. Oh, friendly fire, just like nasty.
Yeah, so...
No good. Hopefully he's all right. Yeah.
Playoff picture. Let's just go through it. I'm going to read this out.
This is big.
I'll read this out for our aces. Yeah. So I'm a big fan of the Bengals.
I love them too.
And I love them. And
they're exciting. They're it's awesome to see. I do enjoy watching them play because you know that ball's getting thrown around and offense is going to happen. Everybody should tune in on them.
So playoff picture. NFC South division title I'll start with actually. Atlanta Bucks. They're both sitting there at 53 and 47% to win it. But it leans towards the Bucks. They've got 2 soft matchups where
they do.
Atlanta have an easy matchup and a tough matchup.
Well, it actually leans towards the Falcons right now at 54% with 2 weeks to go. But
they've got one tough matchup with Penix under center and Kyle Pitts couldn't catch a cold.
The only thing that is to it is that the only reason why they do have that though is because the Falcons have won both games against the Bucks.
So Falcons win out, they win.
That's right. Falcons win out, they're home because they're 2-0 against the Bucks. Obviously, we know what the schedule's like and understand they do have one tough game coming up and the Bucks' draw is pretty good. But that's probably why they're leaning towards the Falcons right now, I think, in that situation right now. But yeah, big, only because the Bucks lost both games against the Falcons, so that's why they have the advantage. So we'd have a watch this space.
So the Falcons play the Commanders next week, just so people
at Washington. So that's tough.
They win that. They'll win, I reckon. Yes. Their last game's against the Giants or the Panthers from memory.
They'll play a division game there. So they're at home against Carolina. So that's a fantastic matchup in week 18.
Yeah, that's
right. The Bucks play the Panthers this week coming up. And then they'll play New Orleans at home. So also gettable. But basically, Bucks are going to be relying on Washington getting the job done this week, or you would have to say that it's Atlanta's division.
Wow.
Yeah, which is amazing.
It is.
Absolutely amazing.
And they reckon Kirk might retire is the mail, which I think's the right call for him, not to steal all that cash.
Yeah. I don't think anybody else would want to take him on board either, though. That's the thing. He's going to I just think it's coming back from an Achilles and stuff like that would be interesting. But
Here's what needs to happen for the Bengals to make the playoffs. Are you ready? Yep. They need to beat the Broncos in week 17, which I think they can.
Yep.
Your man Bo Nix looked horrific in the second half against the Chargers. They need to beat the Steelers in week 18. That's very easy. The Steelers are an average football side, as you know. As I wear their top.
Very good.
The Chiefs need to beat the Broncos in week 18. Now, this is a funny one. Imagine the Chiefs go, you know what? I'd rather the Broncos make it than and I reckon and the Bengals hate the Chiefs.
I can see it.
So there's a part of me that says Carson Wentz starts, all the guns rest.
I can see it.
And then the Bengals can't make it and the Broncos make it.
100%. I can see it happening. There is no doubt in my mind.
So that is an issue. Anyway,
and then in my mind. Do the Broncos have to lose both games or just one?
No, they have to lose both games.
Okay.
But because they play the Broncos once, Bengals have to win out. And then, it's a 14% possibility. Yeah. And then the Colts and Dolphins need to lose one of their last games, which are pretty reasonably easy games. Yeah. The Jets play the Dolphins last week, so that can happen.
There's a lot that needs to happen for the Bengals, so it does make it very, very hard.
But they have
it would be exciting.
They have done a great job to get back to a pulse.
Yeah. You just look back at it and going like how close they are right now to still make it, and you'd just be spewing at those games that you let up, like when you've scored 35 points and you still haven't been able to get it done. Like
one of them was against the Chiefs with that pass interference at the start of the year.
Another one was the Washington game. Like it was 38-35. Like just
hey, I must say if they can keep the band together and they can get some defense, they're going to be a powerhouse next year.
I agree.
That's why I think the Ravens really do have a chance this year.
I agree.
It's a real like with this NFC playing up like Detroit's injuries.
Yeah.
Minnesota with Darnold. I think they're going really well, but it's Darnold. Like if you have, I just feel like Lamar v. Darnold. Surely Lamar wins that, and then Philly. If Hurts was to get another knock or something like that, you just go, wow, because they look horrific without him.
Yeah, it's tough. The offense changes dramatically when he's out.
Yeah. It looks horrific when anyone's starters out. But anyway, back to on task. That's the playoff picture. Yep. There's a lot of other ones there, but 2 weeks ago, we'll dive into that next in the new year. Okay, running hot, Washington and the Rams.
Yep.
Wow. Washington's performance, their quarterback as a first-year quarterback. We said it when we had four quarterbacks to pick from.
Yeah.
This guy is, why I'm a Lamar Jackson fan?
A legit defense.
Because blokes like Daniels pop up and you go, they can throw it, they can run it, and they've got weapons everywhere. Man, he's so fun to watch.
He's so good to watch. It was unbelievable game. Like started off ice cold, just typical Philly defense that you've seen for the last 2 months. Just pressure. Really good in the run game. Passing defense has been rock solid as well. And you're like, okay, this could be a long day for Daniels. This is, again, another matchup where it's going to be hard for him. And then the second half heroics were just out of this world. He goes, you know what? I'm going to run to start off with. I'm going to just put the ball in my hand no matter what I do. And then they just found ways to kind of break down that defense, which is the first time we've seen in a very long time in that Philly defense. And it was incredible to see. Like, what a game. Like, personally, that might be the game of the year so far. The way that kind of worked out and stuff. Yeah, Jalen obviously being out and stuff changes the offenses a little bit for Philadelphia, but game plan by Dan Quinn from a defensive side of the ball when that happened was amazing. And just Daniels just showed exactly what he's capable of, and that puts him so far beyond anybody else, I reckon, for Rookie of the Year.
Oh, yeah, he's got a lot in the bag.
That he should be home now. Just incredible to see. So what a game and well played. It was great to watch. Great to watch.
The Saquon, I think he had 100 and something at 130
at half time. 109 in the first quarter. 109 yards in the first quarter. And they did not stop anything. Jalen Hurts' obviously injury occurs. It happens. And then they've just gone, you know what, we're going to load the box up. Kenny Pickett, let's see if you can beat us with your arm. And good luck. And they took that risk. They still scored points, Philly, but they just got the job done. It was excellent.
It was a nasty drop from Devontae Smith.
Oh, that's
game over's territory.
Yeah,
and they did obviously put the graphic up of Saquon doing it early in the year.
Yeah, so that hurts. Yeah,
that actually hurts their 1 seed. Yes. And now that that's happened, I don't think they can get the 1.
They can't. They can't.
They could, but The only
No, I
reason
don't think they can.
Gockers, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they can.
They'd be kicking themselves.
Yeah, it's like a 5% chance now to be able to do it. So I don't think that they really can. So yeah, that definitely
it's always
hurts.
a division game that happens like that.
It always happens.
Does the rivalry become Washington-Philly now, you reckon? Over the just because of how good they're going to be the next 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could. I could definitely see it happening, but just being there, it's always and forever will be like Dallas.
Yeah.
It'll always and forever be Dallas. But there was a bit of like spite in that game though.
Yeah, it's
like,
the rivalries.
There was a lot going on. There was some talking shit from personnel. There was sideline stuff going on. There was stuff after the play. Like there was definitely a bit happening. So I could definitely see that, occurring long into the future.
Geez, Washington's ground's puge.
Horrendous.
That is the worst stadium.
It's the worst stadium in the NFL.
Yeah. And
by a long way.
They'll get a new one.
Yeah, and they need to.
Okay, running hot as well. Brian Thomas Jr. We did say, I think early in the year, we sat down and we did a rookie kind of watch. And I said, I don't know anything about Brian Thomas, but my old man's name's Brian and my name's Thomas. And I bet you this guy gigs. And I should, mate, if I had just jumped on him because of that reason, he has been out. He's had 1,000 yards.
Him and Mac Jones have got this connection like there's no tomorrow. It's so good to see, but he's flying.
He's also, like, he hasn't had a quarterback and he's got the worst offense.
Yeah. No doubt.
Arguably in the league.
Yeah.
You watch him
good on
next
him.
year.
It's so good. It's so good. Good on him. I just hope that they find something else for him because, I mean, he's a one-man show right now, which is pretty cool to see.
Well, we know Kirk and Ingram and Trevor. Like, they'll be better next year.
They should be, but...
Ice cold. You ready?
Oh. McBride
and Kelsey for a touchdown in 2024.
Yes.
I have never seen anything like it.
I can't believe it. Yeah, I can't believe it. And I'm more shocked about the Kelsey one and how their record is the way it is, and he's just like kind of just floating. It's amazing. Amazing.
I don't know how many times, but anyways, it leads to never touch these blokes again in a multi. Kyle Pitts.
100%. Putrid.
He's officially done. Like
he's putrid.
I'm never ever looking
over it.
Unders.
Flat out over it.
I thought he would get a few checked down. I took him for 4 receptions because of the panics.
He's checked out, mate.
How can you check out when you're a chance to take the division?
You can just tell. He's gone. Yeah.
Tyreek Hill.
Moving on. Yeah,
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at the social media anymore. Sucking me in.
Yeah.
And Jake Ferguson for a touchdown as well as Kelsey. He was one of the best touchdown scorers. He did cost me that monster last year, this time of the year.
But he was scoring.
I've always seen him as a threat in the end zone, and he's just non-existent.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more.
He's just not even getting a look in.
Yeah.
Lamar v. Allen for MVP.
They're all done. Oh.
Allen's now $1.20. He was $1.08, and Lamar was $7. Now he's $4.50. I looked last night.
Yeah.
Lamar v. Allen, who's had a better year?
I'd probably still say Allen.
What Lamar's putting up and doing is extraordinary. But are you saying because he's got Derrick Henry there, it's harder? Like it's maybe.
I would say
Allen's had a better year. I guess he's had to do more.
Yeah. That's probably the direction that I'm going. Like with the personnel that the Bills have got, I don't know if many people expected him to do what they were able to do. Allen was always going to be like who he was, but what I think the game's just gone to a new level, and his numbers are through the roof.
Lamar's numbers are better.
I definitely agree with that.
But analytics. I'm just talking analytics. I'm not talking
getting
about
Derrick Henry on that side too, though. I think obviously naturally helps that. You still got to be able to do it first. Don't get me wrong. You have to be able to go out there and execute it, and they've done that each and every week on a consistent basis very, very well. But I just still think that Allen, with the personnel that he's got as well, just played really good, clean football. And his last 6 weeks, scoring, throwing, you name it, he's just been there, and it's been exceptional to watch.
Except for this week, there's a lot of filthy fantasy owners.
Yes.
Get him and Cooper Kupp are the biggest villains. They reckon they've just pretty much got them there and cost them. Brian Robinson Jr. from Washington as well. Shout out to Boyd Cordner. Minus 1.9 or something. Yeah. Just nightmare stuff. And last point before we go to the Aces IG hot takes. The rushing title, it's on, but Saquon Barkley should win it. We've got the numbers there, but he's up by a bit. But what I want to talk about, and this is our best bet in the program for week 18, so Brado, please remind us. Saquon Barkley is 268 rushing yards away from the record.
Yeah.
So let's just say he goes for 120 this week or 130.
Yeah.
We need to find a market where we can get the record because it'll be about $3 or $4 because it's not easy to run 130 yards.
No way.
So What I think this week, we'll talk about their matchups.
He's got the Giants in week 18 too.
Is he have the Giants? Oh, my Lord.
Talk about running against the old team, in week 18 for the record. Boom. We're going, baby.
I hope
it is on.
I hope it
is on. I cannot wait. He's got the Cowboys this week who are still a little susceptible to the run game. They're not as strong as what they have been. There's 100 there. There's 100 there for him.
To play, though.
They do. And then it is just like it's all written up. The script is already written for Saquon to break the record against the Giants in week 18. I cannot wait.
Do you think they'll stack the box and try to be arseholes?
No doubt. There is no doubt. They will try and have 7 in that box every single time. There is no doubt in my mind that that's what they're going to try and do.
I would love an outside toss, like a real wide
100%.
one where he just runs to
100%. They'll find ways. Don't worry about that.
Well,
they will find ways.
Keep us accountable. Saquon watch for the record. 268 rushing yards.
Does he get in the MVP conversation if he breaks the record?
Well, we did say he should if he does it.
I still think that is so hard to do.
If Allen has another average game, like he was average on the weekend against
Patriots.
Yeah. By the way, Drake May, these rookie quarterbacks this year.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He's going to be special, mate.
The worst one's arguably been the pick number overall first pick. Arguably.
Oh, don't get me started.
I know. We'll leave that. We're getting off topic here.
That bloke runs around. How about standing still?
I did something here, Brado.
DJ Moore for 2 yards in a corner. Down 17, he needed 2 yards, and he threw it fucking once to him. Keenan Allen, what's Keenan Allen doing to him? Keenan Allen must have gave him $100,000 before the game and said, throw me the ball.
Love it.
Far out.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, Caleb Williams.
Good. I just still think we have to be on it. But week 18, Giants record, here we go. I love it.
There you go. And if there's a man that wants to take the Giants down, old Tiki Barber over here from last week, I noticed he was in the headlines. I think Derrick Henry's matched him for explosive seasons.
Because Saquon's probably got the rushing title because I think he's a couple of hundred yards ahead.
He'll win.
He'll win it. So it's all about just record watch.
We'll never get the record again, will we?
Nah. That'd be hard to do.
Maybe Jameer Gibbs, if he's on his own, he might
Maybe could. Yeah.
One more point on the weekend's game. Did you see the trick play from Detroit Lions to Laporta? And they broke it down and they said they stole it from the Packers.
So good.
But did you see Jameer Gibbs do like a commando roll and then a block? No one talked about his block.
It was so good.
And mate, they're
different. They're just so dynamic. Gosh, it's good to watch.
I thought the Bears would be closer to them.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be closer
based off what happened last time, there's no doubt. But just
all right.
Excellent.
Hot takes, and then we get into it.
Here we go.
We're going to dive deeper into the Boxing Day games, which is Christmas Day in America. And then we'll go through the games. Obviously, recording is very early. Me and Sip here on a Tuesday on Chrissy Eve. Merry Christmas to everyone,
Merry Christmas, mate.
Been an amazing year, Sip, and it's we've got more to go.
Yeah.
Righto. Hot takes. Let's get into them. Obviously, only got these up for the last 12 hours, but we've got a few there from our loyal aces following. So let's go through them. Start off with our man, Jakey Holt. If the Bengals end up a game either side of 500, Burrow MVP. Nope. I'm sorry, Jakey. I think he'll win it next year.
Yeah.
Mitchell Travis, Bengals, Colts, and Dolphins are somehow all still alive for the last wild card.
Isn't it amazing?
Just on those three, how disappointing would it be to have Colts and Dolphins in there over the Bengals?
Yeah. It'd be flat. But as we spoke about already with what the Chiefs can do, I can definitely see it happening. But I agree. For pure entertainment, it would be awesome to have the Bengals in there because you know what you're going to get. It's going to be explosive plays. It's who they are, and it would be unbelievable because it's tired to seeing the offenses like Miami and that can arguably have one of the better rosters that we've already mentioned 55 times throughout this fucking year, and yet they can only put up 15 points. So yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Righto, Sip, fly through these with some points. But Andy Dev, Jaden Daniels is legit. Commanders could do some serious damage in the playoffs.
Agree. Yep.
And serious damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, especially after the weekend, no doubt.
Sardi has said Jalen Hurts is a vital part of the Eagles game to win the bowl. We need him playing.
100%.
Fraser Brown, Pacheco needs to lift, needs to show us something after a big return from injury.
Agree.
And he probably won't, to be honest. If you're looking for championship week, I wouldn't be playing him. You'd be playing him, but they're not really, they're just worrying about the postseason.
Agree.
Willis Norton, Chicago should try and trade for Kyle Shanahan. Both teams need to find a pulse. A great shout.
Jeez.
That one of the better calls we've had.
It's not bad. It's actually very, very good point because I feel like part of me is like San Francisco need a fresh start.
Yeah,
I don't know who. I don't know.
Well, they reckon there's growing concerns about them getting rid of him.
Yeah. I reckon they maybe need a fresh start. And then, I think that with what they have over there, Cole Shanahan could be a great pick. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I like it. Hey, that is a great get.
Willis Norton, you are the man.
Yeah, that's
You should be GM of Chicago.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
They need something and they need a play caller. And if they can get some sort of leadership around Caleb Williams, as we said, we're being a bit harsh on him, but you see what Bryce Young's done when you got a great coach who's come from
you see what Purdy has done too. Like you've seen what Brock Purdy's been able to do in that too and all that. Like it's great guys that can help him. Massive.
Dylan Robinson, Darnold as Super Bowl MVP. Okay, I thought he was going to say MVP. Dylan Robinson, Darnold, Super Bowl MVP. Good if you. What was that? There's a chance that can happen, and imagine that did. That would be. Can you imagine the Vikings win with Darnold?
They're actually flying right now. Like they're actually playing some really good football.
Who's better, Carson Wentz at Philly and Nick Foles, or Sam Darnold and Vikings?
Nah, I think you'd probably have to go with Wentz and Foles. Just. You know what? It was a pretty amazing season. Like Wentz was MVP.
But I'd love to know the numbers on Darnold.
I agree. I think Wentz was genuinely MVP conversation until he went down with those 5 weeks to go. Like he was genuine MVP favorite. That's how well they were going.
By the way, just on their head coach, he'll be coach of the year.
Yeah.
I listened to another podcast clip the other day, and they broke down all the quarterbacks. Right. Yeah. All the quarterbacks with him as coach.
Yeah.
Without him.
Yeah.
So we're talking Dobbs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
With him, positive.
Yeah.
Without him, has hardly won a game.
Yeah.
Darnold, with him, what are they, 13-1?
13-2.
13-2?
Yeah.
Without him, maybe hardly won a game.
Yeah.
Cousins?
Yeah, true.
With him?
Yeah.
Without him.
That's
horrific.
Right. Agree.
And there was one more, I think. Yeah. And it's just, and Daniel Jones is obviously the backup there.
Yeah.
Like, he is obviously a very good coach.
Yes.
And because he's a quarterback coach, which surprises me there's not more of them because they're so important.
Yeah.
Like, look at the Jets. Yeah. Defensive-minded coach. They lose their defense. Yeah. Their offense has got nothing. It's a disaster. I don't mind having that offensive quarterback coach in the role.
Play calling.
Very patient. Looks like a nice guy. Yeah. Anyway, so.
Kevin O'Connell's very, very good.
Kevin O'Connell, shout out for changing the game with these quarterbacks. Yeah. Righto, leads into Jakey Andrews, said Darnold, most improved. Jets are still arse. 2 points there. Darnold most improved and Jets are still arse.
Yep.
Jeez,
both are excellent.
The Jets sucked me in. They sucked me back in. And I didn't go head to head, but I took Garrett Wilson in my best bets. I thought they'd put up some
9
offense.
Points. Did you see that stat?
They had 9 points at halftime.
Did you see that point? See that stat?
What was it?
They're the first team since 1940 to not punt the ball in a game but score less than 10 points.
They go and put on fourth. You know what makes me...
Or they just turn over the footy. Either one. You scored less than 10 points and you have not punted. So you're going for it on fourth down and getting stuffed, or you're a turnover city. Unbelievable. Like, unbelievable.
I'm lost for...
we're done. No, we're no more. Move on. I'm tired
I watched Aaron Rodgers' doco during the week on Netflix, and the Enigma, and he sucked me back in again. He sucked me back in with the Enigma.
Just all the spirits around. And
tell you what, I won't be going to that camp.
It's a peaceful place.
Oh, wow. How much money do you reckon he paid Poyer and all that to come there with him to film
just to make it look like he's not the only one doing it. Weirdo.
Righto. Yaron Badikash. I can't even see your name here from distance, but the Ravens are the most dangerous team going into the playoffs. I'll just answer that. 100% they are, King. 100% they are, King. Derrick Henry running the ball in the cold with Lamar Jackson's legs, and Marky Andrews, by the way, talk about a bloke that we were off like Kelsey.
Yeah, now
we should have got on him. He scores every week.
Yeah,
Mitchell Furcher, Lamar MVP. If Lamar performed the way Allen did against a 3-1 team, the NFL media would erupt. Talking about the Patriots. Yeah. I agree. The only thing I'll say...
3-11.
Mitchell, you know I'm a Ravens man, but what I'll say is, if you look at Allen and who he's beaten... Lamar hasn't beaten them this year. Allen's beaten all the guns. Did he beat the Chiefs?
He beat Mahomes, yeah.
So he's beaten the Chiefs, which is the 1 seed. He's beaten Philly.
Beaten Detroit.
Beaten Detroit. And did they beat the Ravens?
I don't. Did they play the Ravens?
Not sure.
Yeah, I'm not
but
sure.
I know I saw a graphic where he's beaten the top sides.
Yeah.
So that's why I think he'll beat Lamar for MVP. But I agree. Lamar would cop it if he did what he did.
Yeah.
No Jalen, no Eagles from Jetty Millard.
It's debatable.
And how about Jetty Millard goes again and says, how about CJ Gardner-Johnson giving the double bird to the crowd after his ejection? Brilliant.
Go Birds.
That's groused. Well, I mean, if you're going to get ejected, you might as well go out.
You might as well do the double pump and, away you go.
The old Matty Richardson. Jakey Gibson, Himmy Rush should be losing, though. We need picks. Yeah.
I don't mind it.
I love how he's called Cooper Rush.
I know.
Himmy Rush.
I know.
I'll tell you what, Himmy Rush is lined for passing yards against the Bucks secondary that's woeful and a great run D was one of the better bets on the program. Again, we're missing. And we did say stay away from Dowdle rushing.
Stay away.
Himmy Rush has had a year to remind, I reckon, a lot of franchises and GMs that he can be a good, solid backup.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot out there.
No, there's not. He's definitely a solid backup. There's no doubt.
Good on him.
Yeah.
Where does Trey Lance sit quickly while we get on?
I don't know. That's a bust. Jeez, that's been a bust.
So him and Kyle Pitts, biggest busts in the last 3 years.
Have to be.
Buffalo, this is Mitchie Grant. Buffalo camera angle and quality, different to everyone else, just pooch. I reckon Buffalo and Commanders stadiums are that bad.
They're horrendous.
Like it's such an advantage. I don't even know if it's an advantage, but I feel like it might be for the home sides.
It's so bad.
Tommy Hofert, more players play multiple positions. DK at corner, Satan at wide receiver. T. Hunter will change this. Panthers are closer to winning a Super Bowl than the Steelers as well, he said.
Wow.
I agree with that.
They've come good. Yeah, they've come good, the Panthers over there.
The Steelers are a franchise that go 500 every year and they do nothing. They do nothing. I must say, though, when Pickens is not playing, they're a different side.
It's so
If
tough.
he was playing, they do scare me.
It's so tough. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, keep moving. I got 5 more here, but Scotty Price, he's gone. I wouldn't have even forced Stevie Wonder to sit and watch the Jags Raiders game.
Oh my goodness me. That's a great hot take. That talk about the definition of pooch though. That game was absolutely pooch.
Fucking hell. That's Scotty Price. By the way, I don't filter these when I read them,
that's why you were slowly continuing on when you were saying,
Imagine being a Raiders fan on top of that, Scotty, and you're listening to them win and lose the first pick. And they need a quarterback. They're going to get a third string. I think it's 7 maybe. Caleb Kuzmic. The Giants and Jets could merge clubs and still be shit. They still wouldn't have a 500 season, would they?
Oh
my God. Caleb also said, first time cheering for the Cowboys. Go Falcons. Yeah, good point. They were $3, the Cowboys.
They were.
Something about that prime time upsets.
Yeah.
All right, 2 to go. And Lockie and Bailey, they've gone Jaden Daniels, Rookie of the Year, correct. Lockie McCarthy on the money, but Bailey Lawson, Burrow is MVP. There's a lot of Burrow fans out there. I love it.
And I understand why. I understand why.
But he won't win it.
Can't win it with that record. I'm sorry.
All right, that's our Aces Hot Takes. It's time to get into this week with a huge emphasis on Boxing Day. Just last one before we move on, but if we had Roger Goodell in the room, the commissioner, why do they not do a Christmas Eve game?
Great question.
Because it's family time, Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And I reckon, Sip, you've
great
been
question.
in it. Why, a bit like...
They've really only just started the Christmas Day stuff too. They never used to be either. But I reckon Christmas Eve used to be last year. Christmas Eve was last year.
Was it?
Or 2 years ago.
Because of Christmas, imagine being around...
I promise you they played on, because Philly played on Christmas Eve when I was there.
Oh, really?
I can promise you. Yeah.
Maybe
So it has happened for sure. I think it just bases on when the Thursday honestly lands. If I'm going to be honest, yeah, just purely based on when the Thursday and how it works around that figure. But they're definitely trying to do that and probably compete with the NBA a little bit because remember our NBA it always used to just be NBA Day. Christmas Day obviously used to be and stuff. So around that time, but I agree.
Imagine Christmas Day with a game.
I'd just be interested, how schedule works and things like that. There's no doubt, but. trying to make that work and have
mate,
that
to be
would
honest,
be
put a
great.
dead rubber on there.
Well,
put a
agree.
Carolina Giants on.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Just give us a game.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, that was my last point
Yep.
because I was thinking there's no games on Chrissy Day.
No.
How depressing. No NBA.
Yeah.
No NFL. Like depressing.
On our Christmas Day.
Yeah, our
yes.
Australian
That's right.
Christmas Day.
Yeah. No,
And then I was thinking if I'm an American
yeah.
and it's their Christmas Day and you're playing and you've got kids and all that,
Yeah.
like it's a unique day that
It
you
is a
miss
unique
to play.
situation, no doubt.
So it's
especially if
like-
you're a traveling team
Yeah. So
as
as
well.
a player, you'd
Yeah.
rather Christmas Eve.
Yeah, no doubt.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's go into this week's game. It's NFL Week 17 preview. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Before we start, a reminder, our Mitchell and Ness Instagram competition is underway. There's 4 $500 vouchers up for grabs. So if I tag Sip, me and Sip win. And then obviously there's another prize. So get on there, tag your mates as many times as you can. Share to your story. Tag Aces and Mitchell and Ness for an extra entry. Get to work. I'm going to be announcing the winners at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. In fact, it's 6:30, Christmas Day. So you'll be sitting around after a bit of
big
pavlova
feast.
or something.
Gee, a big feast.
A big feast. And you'll be getting, hopefully, another present from Santa. Righto, Sip, what do we got?
All right, first game. Kick it off. Chiefs at the Steelers. And I see an upset. I'm just going to call it now straight away. I can see an upset. It's going to be a big game.
Why?
Hopefully Pickens is back.
Mhm.
And it's the Steelers. They've been an upset team all year. It's been great.
The bookies tend to agree. Chiefs are $1.70.
It's a little closer than I think what people may anticipate. We've spoken about it for a while that the Chiefs' offense is just going. Another week maybe of Hollywood Brown in there, you're like, okay, maybe this team's going to be a lot more dangerous and you have to watch out. But Pittsburgh do need George Pickens to be back playing. There's no doubt. Because if there's one area on the defense that's a little susceptible for the Chiefs, it is the passing game. They're not terrible. They're about mid-table, but they are susceptible. I'd be leaving, as I said last week when it came to Joe Mixon, Najee Harris. You can put him down as the unders like there is no tomorrow because he's not getting anywhere near his overs. I think they just stuff him massively because the run defense now, the Chiefs are number 3 in the competition and they're flying. And Wilson's going to have to get rid of the ball pretty quickly because they blitz like there is no tomorrow. The Chiefs right now are the second highest team in terms of the blitz going at 30%. So Wilson's going to need to, and their offense needs to be able to find ways to be able to get that ball out pretty quickly because they get after the quarterback a lot. So I can see it happening, but you need George Pickens to out there to be able to make that happen pretty quickly. And if that's the case, you'll see some checkdowns, I reckon, to tight end Big Pat, which they love. But that's kind of the way that I can probably see it happening right now.
Love it. No, you've broken that down well. I like Najee under.
Yeah.
That Warren is a really good back.
Yeah, and he's more dynamic in the run game, in the passing game too. Like
Which means when he runs,
that's right.
they're expecting the pass.
Well,
That's when
without
he
a
gets an
doubt.
explosive rush.
Without a doubt. Like, he had a great stretch last week in that game where he was getting chunks of 8 and 9 yards against that Baltimore run defense because they don't know whether he is going to be the passing option on a wheel route or whether he's going to be running the ball. There was no doubt. So early in the game, he was getting those good chunks. And the Steelers are going to have to find that way again to be able to do it and maybe use Warren more often than what they're going to use Najee because I think Najee's going to be out of the game pretty early because he's just that one dynamic big back they try and use. But, geez, the Chiefs are so strong on that line. It's going to be hard. Going to be hard for him to be able to get it done. So, yeah.
The Chiefs, they're an interesting one. I'm not going to touch head-to-head. I agree. The bookies know something's up. And the Chiefs don't have much to play. Like, if Mahomes hurts his ankle, there's no need to play him. They're locked, right? They're locked in.
Yeah.
For the one.
Yeah.
Hollywood Brown. He's back.
He's back.
And he's a player that will be playing he had 45
and they need him to play.
He had 8 targets, man. 45 yards, right? Hopkins, we did say they're resting. He had 4 targets for 4 catches for 37.
Yep.
But Worthy, as I said on the program, it's happened again.
Yeah.
His target share is going through the roof. He had 11 targets, 65 and a tutty.
Yep.
65 is probably under for 11 targets and 7 catches.
I'd agree.
But it's now, I reckon it's going to go Worthy, Hollywood Brown, and then Kelsey.
Yeah.
He'll only step up when they have huge, like if it was a Dolphins game, 2 corners are great, then he'll dominate the middle of the field.
Yep.
I looked at the Texans last week. They were pretty, they're pretty stout defense, but Mahomes still at 260 a tutty.
Yeah.
And he rushes a tutty and has 33 on the ground.
That's right.
Look, it's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
The Steelers with Pickens back would be nice.
Yes.
I've been looking for Mike Williams to step up, and they haven't given him the role. They had Skowronek, was it?
Yeah. You just have to wonder, what is Mike, what's Mike doing? What is he doing? Is he putting himself in, good spots? Is it both, the play calling, or is it Mike just, he's not the same player that he once was, so you just can't get off?
Shout off.
You know, you just don't know.
Well,
but
he had one route where he's a deep ball specialist.
He's a deep ball specialist, but everybody knows that now.
Yeah.
And defenses are so dynamic now that you can just play cover 2 and you go, all right, I'll take him on the line right now. And then once he gets past me, it's safety, it's on you to be able to get it done. And teams are so good at doing it now. And especially Baltimore now, they've changed their defense a little bit. Hamilton now has changed his role over the last 6 or 7 weeks. He's genuinely that safety role now. He could have had 3 picks on the weekend.
Yeah.
And Mike Williams is the guy there that okay, you can take him over and that's fine. I'll play you one-on-one. Easy done. Job done. So that's where it's teams are just on defense are just so much better at identifying that deep ball now, particularly for guys that it's their one wood. And it just makes it hard for Mike Williams. That's all. That's why they need George Pickens more than ever.
Yeah.
So,
mate, I actually struggle to know where I'm going to go with the Chiefs-Steelers game. I think if the Chiefs, as I said,
I really think
Russell has to throw 3 passing touchdowns.
Yeah, I do. But I find it hard when you don't have George. That's all I can it makes it 10 times harder when you don't have him.
Who's the slot receiver? I keep saying it. The Chiefs are a funnel.
Yeah, the slot receiver
is it Austin?
Is Austin. I believe it's Austin.
Are we going
or is it Washington?
I don't know. Whoever it is, we'll work it out. When we get our thing up. But whoever the slot receiver is,
that is the one area that, as I said, they're okay in passing defense. They're okay. They are definitely their one word, as I said, is definitely their run defense. So the passing game you can do, but you still need your good players out there to be able to make that, become vulnerable. That's all.
Yeah. So I'm going to be, that's a really tough game, actually. At 5 a.m., it'll be just a little cheeky go. Maybe I do have a little go at Pittsburgh just because I can't stand them.
I just think I definitely think it's still worth a bit of a shout for it. But
every week,
at Pittsburgh.
Every week, Kansas are $1.60 and they win.
I know.
If you're a Chiefs fan, you'd be going, this is the best year I've ever had.
100%. Without a doubt.
If you looked at what Derrick Henry did last week, maybe it is Pacheco time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know. Yeah, it could be.
He needs to get some confidence.
No doubt.
They need to feed him the ball. Week. Hunt 11 for 55.
Yeah.
Mahomes 5 for 33, which won't normally happen. Pacheco 9 for 26, and then Worthy had a couple rushes, 3 for 10.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I think they might lean on that a little bit. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, short turnaround.
Yeah.
Not much workload there for Pacheco. You wonder maybe
is it a short turnaround for him?
Yeah.
Oh, it is too.
Chiefs, Steelers, Ravens, Texans.
They played on the Saturday. It's a 5-day or 4-day turnaround.
So maybe it is blokes that didn't get going last week.
Yeah.
They'll get going this week knowing that they've been managed.
The other thing that you look at too is that there's not going to be many new plays. It's going to be who can execute what they know, what is their identity more often. And that's what it can really come down to as well. So one to look out for there as well.
Tough game.
Yeah, tough game.
Next game.
Baltimore, Houston.
I'm thinking Derrick Henry will get going, but last week was his week where, as I said, I thought he was going to have a week. Now, it's probably more touchdown dependent.
Houston's defense as well is also probably a little better, but
again, tough defenses, but short turnaround, a bit of fatigue. Tank Dell would have just rattled the group.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson up against the team that just cut him.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about that?
Jeez, we may as well.
Is that a bounce back game? I think Nico Collins is one of the best bets on the program.
Yeah, I love it.
I think Ravens give up the most in the secondary.
They still do. Yeah.
They allowed deep balls to Austin. They had no receivers, I felt like Steelers, and Russ got it going a little bit. I looked at last week's. What do you have? I mean, they were amazing, their defense. Russ, he had 217 and 2 tutties and played horrific, right?
He did.
I just think that
he did.
I just think Stroud might be able to get going with Collins.
Yep.
And you got to think, yes, the Ravens will put everything into that, but Nico Collins is the only receiver they've got left. So it's him and Schultz.
Yeah.
And then you can't.
How much of the offense can Johnson actually get and understand in 4 days or 3 days? You're not sure.
I think he can run a few slants. Just really running slants all day.
There's no doubt. But the chemistry comes down to it as well, though. You know what I mean? Like CJ Stroud and Tank Dell are best mates. They've got that chemistry, and it worked so well for them. It's hard. Like, well, you can look at it how you want to, but trust me, quarterback with their wide receiver chemistry is a massive thing, and on 3 days' notice, it still can be tough.
Do we go to Robert Woods for value?
I would lean towards that way probably a little more. Yes, I would.
They don't have a lot of receivers left.
Pardon the pun.
They got Nico Collins, John Mechie, Robert Woods, Xavier Hutchinson. I feel like something's going to come from one of those little, and there'll be a lot of juice around there.
I think it will. Let's
go the other side of the ball, though. I think Ravens win. At $1.50,
I think the Ravens win as well. Yeah, I think the Ravens win as well. I just think that they are coming very good at the right time. What they did to that Steelers defense last week was exceptional, and Lamar is playing outstanding football. There's no doubt. So if they're flying at the right time, I think they've made a couple adjustments on defense, as I said, Hamilton's now not up on the line of scrimmage as much. He's playing more of that safety role, so it's probably helped. It probably has helped their passing defense a little bit. But at the same time, yes, they still are susceptible. But you got to base it off maybe what the last month and that has occurred for them, and they have been a little bit better in that area, no doubt. But if this is the area where Houston can get them, that's going to still be the spot, and they need to. They've got the weapons to be able to still do it because they need to, because Mixon's probably going to have another tough matchup in terms of being able to run the ball. Yeah.
Mate, this Roquan Smith have you seen Roquan Smith for the Ravens?
He's a beast.
So this Ravens defense is tough, and they're starting to get going. So I really like the Ravens here.
The only way Mixon, I think, is part of this offense is if it's in the passing game. But you mentioned Roquan Smith. He has all eyes on CJ Stroud and Mixon, and will be hunting them like there's no tomorrow, particularly in the passing game if they're trying to get that going.
I think it's a Stroud over on receiving, passing game. I don't know where it's going to go, but Nico's their only receiver. So you got to think Nico's going to get 15 targets, honestly. Because I just looked at all their players. Hutchinson, Mechie, who was out with a shoulder a week ago, Tank Dell on IR. You just picked up Deontay Johnson, who's a head case. You know, he might come in, but they won't. I don't know if he got the targets. And Nico's probably been down the last couple of weeks. I think Nico Collins smash it. Ravens win. Derrick Henry to actually get a touchdown. He hasn't had a touchdown in weeks. And to be honest, he's in my fantasy team and I'm playing you. I don't mind him not getting 100 rushing yards, but can you give me some tutties? A nice tutty would be just juicy.
I'm flat because I think I have Mixon in my one, so it's not a good one. It's not a good one for me.
While we're on these big games.
No, that's a lie. I don't know what I'm talking about. We're all good.
Boy Cordner has
That's right. I was going to say, I was looking at the wrong one.
The last thing I'll say is I reckon Lamar Jackson might use his legs in this game.
Yeah, I can see it happening.
Mahomes did it last week. They've got great defense, the Texans.
They do. They've got a solid defense. Run game, they're in the just outside the top 10 in the run game. And, passing defense, they're around the same mark as well. So, yeah, but I agree. I could definitely see them being able to use, he's going to be using his legs way more often. Absolutely.
By the way, you just reminded me, a little shout out. Tips, not slips, is one of the things we say. Don't send us your slips and lose by a leg. We could all send you one of them. But one of the boys here I was talking to online yesterday, a bit of a bad beat, but he had Lamar Jackson under rushing attempts. And he kneeled 3 times in a row to finish the game. He went from 6 to 9. And then another guy.
That's such a shit rule. That is so shit. There should be just a different, stat.
Rushing attempts, and it took him under. He had
that should to be a different.
I think he was 25 rushing and he went to 23 or 3. But anyway,
that's brutal.
So you got to be careful on the kneels.
Gee, that's brutal.
Mate, let's fly through all these other games because some crackers, and I'm looking forward to the Seahawks and the Bears.
Yeah, Seahawks and the Bears.
Because the Bears are allowing a lot on the ground, and they're a lot in the air, they are becoming a bit of a funnel, and they're good to watch.
Yeah, I like it. But we obviously saw what Detroit were able to do to the Bears last week, and I think Seattle's offense has really started to get going. And Smith Najigba has been the man behind that. Having DK back was also very good to see. Finally getting back into his back to his best, which was excellent. And but Smith to Jigba has been on a different level.
It's simple.
Over the last
Smith to Jigba
8
for
weeks.
yards.
Yeah.
DK Metcalf, I think, can score again because he's been all the crowd are getting
and
into
you'd
him.
like to think Walker gets involved, obviously, a little bit more too.
He's my best bet.
He has to.
Can I just say he's my best bet?
He has to get involved in this with the way the run defense has been for Chicago of
Best
late.
bet.
They are vulnerable as it gets right now.
Provided fit, healthy, because he come over the calf. He looked great though live.
27th right now in the run game, giving up 134. You're looking at Walker right now going, it's your day. It is your day right now.
And I
just don't see any other way.
I think it's a touchdown as well.
Yep.
I just think they'll give it. They won't muck around. It's an important game at 8-7. The Rams are just got them at the moment.
Yep.
And we'll talk about the Rams matchup later against the Cardinals. But if they were to drop that, I'm pretty sure the Seahawks might jump back up, or they'll be very close.
They'll be close. They really should have won that game on the weekend. Like they really should have. They really should have won that game. They were coming halfway through the third there, and they were on fire.
And the Rams play the Seahawks in the last game of the year. So we're gonna shape up with a Rams Seahawks.
Oh, week 18 is going to be huge, mate. Week 18 is going to be massive.
And a Vikings Lions game.
Absolutely, it's going to be
and
huge.
a Chiefs Broncos, which could lean on a bit of maybe Bengals making it.
Huge implications week 18.
Next week's gonna be fun.
But Seattle, I think what we've mentioned is absolutely perfect. Chicago. You obviously look at the way it's been going, and the Keenan Allen connection has been huge. So that's the way I would continue to look at it as well, because as I've mentioned probably for the last month, the run game and the run defense again of Seattle has lifted immensely. I remember speaking about it in the run game where Seattle were third last in the competition in the run game, weren't able to stop anything. And they've got themselves up to 18th over the last 6 weeks. Like that's a big turnaround. Yep. That's 10 spots difference. 18 doesn't sound bad, but when you're compared to being 30th, that's a huge jump in the run defense. 12 spots is amazing. So again, Swift is going to have another tough matchup. So good luck in that area. You're going to be relying on the passing game again. Keenan Allen, he seems to be the guy right now that he just likes to look at, and that's the way I see it. That's about it.
Yeah, DJ Moore is dead to me after last week. No, actually, no, he's not. I take that back. Caleb Williams running around like a lunatic, not standing.
It's more Caleb Williams.
It's more Caleb Williams. He does these spins, and imagine your eyes.
It's like he's back at USC. It's like, mate,
what are you doing?
You have stars that are running clean routes for you, I'm sure of it. Just
lock in.
And I know you don't want to give up the ball, but sometimes you need to be a little more bold. And if you throw a couple of picks, you throw a couple of picks.
Or if you throw the ball and it's not on, just throw it deep. When you're running for 3 yards on a 3rd and 8, there's no point.
The commentary last week, it was like we interviewed Caleb Williams during the week, and like, what's the number one emphasis that you focus on? And he goes, there was 2 things that I focus on. He goes, 1, no picks. 2, no picks. But it doesn't help you, mate.
Yeah.
I don't know if it helps you. I just think that you need to be a bit more bold to it and give your receivers a chance to do it. And if you get caught, then you get caught. It is what it is. You'll continue to grow in that area. Like, I just think that you just need to be able to be a little bit more brave in that area instead of scrambling around thinking that you can come up with something special. Guys are too good. NFL defenses are too good.
In a season where it doesn't really matter now, like you can't, there's nothing to lose. I don't know why not slinging it. Have some fun.
Sling it. Yeah. Just sling it. Try and get 350, and if you throw 3 tutties and 2 picks, well, great. Who cares? Yeah. Excellent work.
Spot on. This will be in Chicago, but looking forward to this one. So I'm writing notes, but this is the first note I've written, and it is Seattle and the run game.
Yeah.
With Walker and yards, provided he's healthy.
Yeah.
If he wasn't, Charbonnet would take the exact same role.
Takes over that role, easily said and done. Love it.
Let's fly through.
Go. All right, Los Angeles against New England Patriots, and that they are the Chargers, not the Rams. The Chargers against the Patriots in Foxborough. New England showed something last week. I just think it ended up being just the caliber of team that they were against just got the job done. But they showed some signs, and May's a good quarterback. I really like what he's been able to do. The Chargers defense has probably dropped off a little bit compared to what they've had, previously in the last month or so. So there's some chances there, but I think in the end that the Chargers are just too good. I think they're just too good. The run defense is right up there again for them. So again, maybe you stay away a little bit from So it's Stevenson, who's their running back there. So you maybe stay away from that area a little bit. But they have been getting caught a little bit over the last few weeks with their defense. So maybe the passing and that can be something there for them too that they've shown some signs with. The Chargers in the passing defense were in the top 10 last week, and now they're 15th right now in the competition. So maybe an area there from being able to get to it. But Herbert and Ladd is just on. Herbert and Ladd have just got this great connection right now. Route running is exceptional. And I just see that I expect him to be in the end zone, to be honest, because Gonzalez is more of the corner, doesn't necessarily play in the slot. Ladd's more in the slot area there. And I think there's a great opportunity for Ladd to be able to, do what he does, and it could be a big game for him.
Kayshon Boutte was impressive. I'm looking at his numbers. The last 3 weeks, he's had 6 targets for 3 catches and 41.
Yeah.
5 and 2 for 19. And then this week, 7 targets for 5 catches of 95 yards and a tutty.
Yep.
But if you were to, and he's got an easier matchup. So he's a guy you could comfortably take for maybe a 25 this week.
The other one, though,
I'm chasing Palmer, though.
I was going to say the other one that I really think that you look at, like last week, and like Patriots, they can't stop the run.
I've got the notes here. Do you want me to say Gus Edwards?
Gus Edwards I was going to say Gus Edwards is by far the man that you are locking in for this game.
And Gus Edwards' run game is how they'll win.
That's how I see it. James Cook completely dominated the Patriots last week and got him in the game. Been that way for most of the year. And this is all set up for Gus Edwards again. And you know what? We should have mentioned this probably earlier. But the fact is that we've spoken about the running backs all year long in terms of what should be happening pay-wise and stuff like that. The stats out there right now are through the roof for the running backs. And run game is just all of a sudden lifted in the NFL. And we should have, as I said, we should have probably spoken about it a little sooner, but we probably needed to notice it a little bit more too. But the running game, just in terms of overall for offenses, has been amazing. And again, I don't think this is any different. Gus Edwards, line it up. You're taking the overs all the way against this Patriots run defense.
Last 2 weeks, they've given up 100 yards to 2 running backs.
Yep.
Connor, and then we had our man Cooks last week.
Yep.
And then Gussie Edwards, who did have a big breaking run to seal the game.
Yep.
I thought against the Broncos. He's going to have confidence. I love it. It's our best bet. I reckon Gus Edwards over.
Perfect.
Chargers to win.
Yep.
And I'll be having a sneaky on Palmer for a touchdown here. I think he can get. I love that corner Gonzalez from Patriots.
Yeah.
And I wonder where he goes, but I think he'd go to Johnson.
I think he does too. He could, but I don't know if he does just the where they can move Ladd around.
Palmer is a big chance. The only thing is watch the weather. It is at Gillette Stadium. Righto, mate. Which
next one we've got is Denver and Cincinnati. This is huge playoff implications. This is massive. Cincinnati, as we already spoke about, and have to keep winning, and they're relying on a team to lose, and one of them is the Denver Broncos. So this is a massive game.
Jamar Chase has 16 touchdowns and 1,500 yards.
He's got a tough matchup, though, this week. Satan is 100% going to him. But if anyone's capable of being able to make that guy vulnerable, it's Jamar Chase.
Jerry Jeudy took him. Well, I don't think he was on him. I
don't know if he was on him and that they may have been playing a different kind of scheme, more zone-like and stuff, and they got caught badly. I don't know. They cannot
stay away from Jamar Chase this week.
No, but I'm saying they cannot do the same to Jamar.
Yeah.
They cannot do that. They have to play man on man. He needs to be a lockdown on Jamar to give themselves a
season
shot.
On the line, right?
100%.
So I'm saying best bet, I won't say the year, I would love to. We've always done touchdowns, but one of the better prop bets for a while. You'd think Higgins over here would be in the planning of
that's where I have to look because Satan has to go to Jamar.
And Satan doesn't even when he goes to Jamar, they tend to go, just don't throw it there.
Yeah.
What else have we got?
Yeah.
And it's a Gasecki, if you want to look at other players on the field, it's Savaz who scored again. He's the third string wide receiver that pays $6 on a Bengals team. If you want value, he's the one.
Always finds the end zone. It's unbelievable.
Him and Higgins, excuse my coughing. Geez, going to a Bucks party on the weekend. I'm a Bucks party into to watch the Ravens at 8 a.m. and the 5 a.m. game.
It's been a long weekend.
Oh, boy.
And we're not stopping.
I know. There's too many NFL games at 5 a.m. I need to snooze.
Go to bed at 8, Tommy.
What about my man Mimsy?
Yeah.
I had a couple of messages. Mimsy for the 30-yard, mate. The 30-yard market is $6.
I know.
And Mims has broken it 4 of the last 5 weeks.
Yeah, it's a great one to look at. Absolutely.
And against this secondary, I'm going again.
I expect a shootout. I actually do expect a little bit of a shootout.
Big game, though.
Yeah. I do expect a little bit of a shootout, though.
The other one is Chase Brown. You got to think he's been unbelievable.
The run defense has been okay though for
Gus Edwards did explode, scored a touchdown.
It has been okay, but no doubt that they've got the weapons to be able to make it very, very vulnerable. It's all about how can Cincinnati get stops. Can they?
Yeah, I just think Bo Nix's last 2 weeks. I was hoping it'd be better.
I know, because you wanted me to say sorry, and I'm not there yet.
Well, you'll apologise if he wins this, I think.
No, I don't.
If he wins this, they're in.
I don't, mate. Yeah, but I don't apologise.
Well, I think if he can
Cincinnati aren't that good.
Yeah, okay, but if he puts up 36 points in the air.
No. His last 2 games have been haven't been great. Yeah, they beat the Colts and they say, well, we scored 30 points. Two touchdowns were from their defense.
Yeah, good call. Okay, well, you know what? Bengals' defense last week was great.
Yeah, good. That's what I'm saying. If they can get stops, well, I think Cincinnati are home and hosed. I do. Just get stops and we're okay.
Yeah,
it's a great opportunity.
I want the Bengals to win, so I'm going to be on them. But I'm looking at Higgins.
Yeah, that's all I'm looking at.
Chase, love him. If Satan goes and locks him, he might get one big explosive play. But Higgins should get so many targets. If Jamar
does get off, that game is well and truly over. There's no doubt. So you're going to be relying on Higgins and not
Satan is second favourite for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. Well, he's been immense.
But he's a gun.
Yeah.
He loves the Rixies as well. He wears the orbits.
Get him over.
But we love
that's what I see. I just see Higgins. I do. I see Higgins and you can get up there.
Higgins. We're going to be cheering on the Bengals because they'll be a bit more exciting in the postseason. The other guy is, if you're looking at the secondary, Cortland Sutton.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Sutton, Mims, they're my favourites. Yeah. And then they'll be behind.
Yeah.
And then Higgins. And if you want some value, it could be Gesicki, but it's all Higgins.
Yep.
Righto. Cardinals, Rams. Let's fly on the games that don't mean anything, which is about to come up.
Rams. Geez, Cardinals have been probably a bit disappointing over the last few weeks. Yet we spoke about our man McBride. Maybe we'll see one this week. I don't know.
Are we following up?
But maybe we have to. We can't knock him back after.
There's been a lot of follow-up messages.
We can't knock him back afterwards. We may have to go one more time and go to the well one more time. But,
Let's just move on.
Don't know. I don't know what I like here, to be honest.
I know what I like.
Maybe they couldn't stop the run again. So maybe it's a Williams day.
The Cardinals couldn't stop anything.
The Cardinals couldn't stop the run, especially.
Stop anything. I'm taking the Rams. I'm taking Puka
Nakua. Yeah.
I'm taking Puka Nakua for yards, and I reckon Cooper Kupp will probably go under again, but score a little touchdown.
Yeah. Couldn't stop nothing.
The Rams are the easiest team to bet on in the whole league. You know why?
Yeah, because they just have 3 guys that they go to every single time. There's nobody else that you need to. Maybe someone sneaks in for a touchdown, but in terms of receiving yards and rushing yards, there's no one else.
Honestly,
Puka, Kupp, Williams. Williams is going to eat the life out of these guys.
Harrison has a pretty good matchup, doesn't he? Rams secondary is not great.
Rams secondary, not great. So Harrison may have a better matchup. This could be a fill-up.
Puka, Kupp, Williams, Tutties into Harrison, McBride.
Cardinals are 23rd in the run game, so you're like, Williams is happy.
Connor got injured late last week.
Yeah.
The Rams should win this game.
They should.
And they'll win it on the ground and in the air with Puka.
Yep.
McBride will score. Yep. Does McBride score?
McBride scores.
McBride doesn't score this week. There's a serious issue with the offensive coordinator.
We're done. Yeah. All right. Like it. Jets and the Bills.
Jets, Bills. Jets are done. Bills will win. And the ball, if I look at what last week booty, Garrett Wilson cost us this week. But can I just say one thing? Aaron Rodgers needs one more passing touchdown to get 500. And there's a little bit of...
who does he go to?
I know who he goes to. and you need to follow up on this, but this is the thing. If they win the toss and they receive early and they can score the first touchdown, it'll be going to Devontae Adams. There's this sick chemistry and there's these milestone records and they've linked up a lot.
Yep.
100th was with Aaron.
Yeah.
There's something about this ball going to Devontae Adams for his 500th, and I don't know whether it'll be the first of the game because the Bills might get it and just pound the rock and throw it to someone else.
Yeah.
But this has Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams linking up for his 500th sip.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to put that on the agenda. We've done our research.
I think it's a perfect call. Love it.
This one is at the Bills. How cold is it going to be? Who knows?
Pretty darn cold.
The Jets have nothing to lose, and I hope it's a bit of a sling fest. But Josh Allen traditionally rushes a touchdown against this mob.
Loves it.
So Josh Allen rushing touchdown.
I'm putting Dan down for a tutty.
Yeah, that's what I've got for you.
But
look for Devontae Adams to link up for Aaron Rodgers' 500th.
Yeah.
And Jesus, there's a bloke that's getting a trade next year. Garrett Wilson's out of there.
Oh, jeez.
He's out of there. So. And I hope he goes to the Chargers.
Yeah,
that's all I've got, Sip.
Yeah, excellent. Let's move on. This one's Puchy all over it. The Vegas Raiders against New Orleans Saints. This is Puch.
You know what? I'll tip the Saints so that Raiders choke.
Yeah.
Because I reckon their owner's going, what are we doing?
Yeah. Don't know if Kamara's playing. Crosby's out on defense. Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers is probably the one guy that I would look at for the Vegas Raiders, and that's it.
Yeah, I got nothing. Move on.
Yeah,
putrid game.
Colts and Giants. Jonathan Taylor all day, every day. Good luck. Let's have another field day against this Giants putrid running defense. That is all I've got for that game.
Hang on a sec. I got to write the Rams
Richardson and Taylor. You could probably take both over in the rushing. That's what I would go with.
Colts and Taylor.
Seriously.
They need a win as well.
And the Giants are second last in the run defense. So if you're a Jonathan Taylor fan and that, not that, and you've got him in championship week, you are licking your chops right now because that's all I've got for you in that game, in that matchup. I'm not looking anywhere else. Nowhere else.
No.
Moving on.
Neighbours has put up 1,000 yards with no quarterback.
Yeah. That's pretty darn good.
I reckon he might be a good one. I just tailored on with 50 or 60 yards.
Yeah.
But other than that,
this
Colts, I've got some notes here. And so far, it's all about the run game.
Yeah.
And the teams
All run game. Dallas and Philly. In Philly. So I don't think Philly drop another one. I think that they're too good. I think they're too good to be able to drop it. I think Jalen plays still. I think he'll be okay.
I don't know if he does.
Yeah.
But if he does, regardless if he does,
I still think they win even with. The other one too though is that Kenny Pickett was sore. Kenny Pickett was hurting after that game. He took some hits, so he's got a questionable tag on him actually right now. So that's an interesting one.
I think Jalen will be fine. Do you know what's going to happen? Jalen Hurts is going to give the ball to Saquon Barkley a lot.
Yeah.
But there's a player that I love, and I don't know why, but I think Devontae Smith this week has the best matchup. Watching Evans and how well they defended him in the second half, AJ Brown is going to have a...
Which I hate. I've got him this week, and
I think that. But AJ Brown is so good. Yes. But AJ Brown...
But he was against Lattimore on the weekend.
Lattimore always gives up yards,
I know,
man.
But he's still a good,
He's a tough... How many flags did Lattimore give up?
Well, yeah, but that's because AJ is genuinely just
exactly.
a beast.
But Lattimore, he holds, and that's why Evans always tries to belt him.
I reckon... I don't agree with that. I reckon AJ's still going to...
I think Devontae Smith has no one on him. Like McMillan last week should have caught a deep ball touchdown. Okay, that's Devontae Smith's role. Yeah. He had multiple catches, and he had 2 catches for 15 yards that went back because they just hit the ground. Yeah. Devontae Smith also dropped the game-winning They're going to be feeding him. I just think he's got the lowest line for his talent.
No doubt.
And for 50 yards, why would you take AJ Brown for 90 when you can get 50 for Smith?
That's very, very true. I get you there. That makes total sense.
Run the ball.
That makes total sense.
Bucky Irving looked amazing in the backfield, and so did White.
Yeah.
The backfield is dangerous against Dallas. And Micah Parsons, what they were doing, if you watched it, they were going, wherever you come from, we'll throw it just behind you, and we'll run it at you because you're so good. Yeah. We don't want you coming from a blind side. So if he went to the left, they'd run it to the left, or they'd throw it to the left. Yeah. It was amazing.
Philly had the best tackles in the game, so I think they can cover them. I think they can cover Parsons very well, but I just think that, I think that you're going to be looking at Saquon. And I like your point with Devontae, no doubt, but don't hide away maybe for a sneaky TD for old AJ Brown. I'll tell you that.
Hey, and I noticed Hurts got to the 3 and they still gave it to Saquon, which I loved, which you'll hate this week.
I know.
But if Hurts doesn't play, Barkley touchdown becomes one of the best bets. Yeah. If Hurts does play, Devontae Smith for me, 50 yards, lock it in. And Cooper Rush, Ferguson combination, we're talking about touchdowns non-existent, but the actual, if you watch your score this week, His receptions and his yards, look at his work the last 2-3 weeks since coming back from that concussion. He's been a security blanket under center.
He has been.
And I think if you're going to talk about this defense of Philly.
The linebackers are legit, though, for Philly. I don't think they give up what they did on the weekend. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying I reckon that they don't allow the receivers much. So CD and that
they
they're
number 2 in passing defense.
So they're going to go under center, and it's going to have to come from the running backs and all that.
I agree.
And the tight ends. Anyway, I've just got Philly, Devontae Smith, and Barkley if Hurts plays.
I like it. Carolina, Tampa is the next game.
Amazing game.
A lot closer than probably what we would have said a month ago, to be honest. I think that
Bucky Irving, mate.
Yeah, I love Bucky Irving. I love Bucky Irving in this game.
Bucky Irving rushing.
Love it.
But Evans is chasing that
Evans
is
still chasing it. He's still chasing his 1,000 yards, so I think you have to look to him as well.
But how good's Thielen been?
But Thielen's been very good. And that's an area where Tampa Bay can be very susceptible. That's the other way you look. I just keep looking towards the same thing. It's like CD had over 100. They stopped the run. So Chubb might have going to have a hard matchup this week. Hubbard's going to have a hard matchup this week.
In fact, take him unders if you got plums on the rushing.
You know, they talking about blitzing before, like Tampa are just the same in the blitz. You know, they are number 3. Going at 30% as well. They're going to get after Bryce. Bryce is going to have to find a way to get rid of it quick again. And they'll just keep coming at him. But I like Thielen in this one because Tampa is very susceptible in the secondary. There's no doubt. But Buck Irving all over. Love it again. Another run. Love it.
The best bet of this is Bryce Young over 200, maybe more passing yards. Look at the Bucks.
They're better than what they were too, and he's finding a way and feeling pretty good under center.
The Bucks running D is unbelievable.
Yes, they are.
And their pass defense is horrific.
Yeah.
Cooper Rush had 290 something, and they led the whole game.
Yeah.
Led. Normally you're running the ball. Whatever.
That's right.
He just kept throwing it. Mate, so there's if you want to.
There's holes everywhere in that secondary.
It's another easy week.
There's some holes everywhere in that secondary. There's no doubt.
Let's move on. But
Tennessee, Jacksonville.
Tennessee, Jacksonville. Okay, so Tennessee, Jacksonville.
Can Ridley actually do something against his old team? That's the question. Rudolph likes him. I'll tell you who my sneaky one is the Tennessee tight end.
Okongwu?
Yeah.
Yeah, like him.
Rudolph likes getting it to him.
No, that's easy. Cullen Ridley. Bounce back game. Nothing to win.
Bounce back game. You got to probably keep looking at Thomas for Jacksonville.
ETN was quiet.
Yeah.
They share that fucking backfield.
They do share that backfield because they've got no answers, though. There's nowhere else they can look to.
And Thingo should be running it. But you think...
Do you know Tennessee are number 1 in the passing game?
At passing the ball?
Do you know how bad they were with their secondaries and that, like how high they were getting? That's why the running game was so good for the Colts on the weekend. Because they're number 1 right now, supposedly in the
at defense or on offense?
No, at defense. So stopping the opposition wide receiver, their passing game, but the running game.
So does that mean ETN and Bigsby get off the charts?
Geez, the running game was vulnerable. I mean,
why are we talking about this game? This is horrific. You're wearing a Titans top. That's what we're talking about. Give me one play you like. It's got to be Ridley, doesn't it?
I just
or the
like
tight end or Okongwu.
I just like I'll go more Ridley. Yeah.
You don't go Pollard after what?
No. I'm not going Pollard because I'd be going ETN if anything with the way the run game was for the Colts last week. They were unreal.
The Raiders got to work on the ground last week.
Yeah, but Tennessee's run game was vulnerable. Taylor just had 3 tutties for 215 yards.
Yeah. I'm looking at these two teams. They played each other not long ago.
No, they didn't. Yeah. It was an ugly game. It was 10-6.
Levis was under center.
It was putrid.
Brian Thomas had 86. Ridley had 59. Pollard went for 102 on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, Jacksonville is still vulnerable on the ground. There's no doubt. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, 10-6 game. Yuck.
Mate, Ridley's getting 12. He got 12 targets in that game. But the thing was, Will Levis is the quarterback. I think it's Ridley and that's it.
Yeah.
But nothing else. Like no head-to-heads.
Miami, Cleveland.
Cleveland gave up. Explosive plays.
Debo had a big game last week against Miami's
Kittle,
D.
It's Debo.
It's Kittle again, isn't it?
Yep.
It's Kittle again. Other side for Miami.
Hang on. Who's playing again?
Miami and Cleveland.
Sorry, we're talking about Kittle and he's not even playing.
Yeah. No, Kittle, I was saying Kittle was good against last week against Miami's defense, so Njoku's probably an option.
He was pathetic last week.
He was bad. I don't know why
should never have been dropped.
I agree. I don't know why You
know
play
why?
against Ugly, the number one defense,
You know why?
and it's just
They're going to
annoying.
pick up a quarterback and drop them all, I reckon.
Yeah. It's bad. But yeah. Don't really like the running game. Ford's got a harder matchup. Miami's run defense is not too bad. Debo had a big game against them though last week, and so did George Kittle. So you're probably looking that area there, I reckon, for yeah. And Smith. We can't keep Tyreek. That's all.
Nah, Tyreek Hill he'll probably go off in this game. You know what? If Waddle doesn't play, then you gotta have a look at Smith, even though he's on our never touch again list. But like I'm only saying that because they're not that good against the pass.
Gosh.
And they've been pretty good against the run.
So
anyway, let's move on. I think that game has a bit there for Jonas Smith.
A-Chain as well.
And I think you just got to go back to Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah. I like
Although
it.
Jerry Jeudy will get their corners are good.
Huge game, this one, though, the next one.
Yeah,
Massive game.
Ford's in my fantasy team, so I'll be cheering on Ford.
I know you will be. I'm cheering on A-Chain, so I need to get him going.
I like Ford in the receiving game, actually. Just his line will be 15. Yeah. I think you're going to be playing from behind. Yeah. You're going to be checking it down. And, their quarterback was using his legs a lot, which he'll probably do again if he stays out there. But hopefully Jameis can come back in and sling the ball around.
Does a little bit, to be honest.
Njoku's the one, though. If you want to go – this is Jonas Smith and Njoku, but Njoku's been a bit banged up.
Yeah.
Righto, let's move on because there's a couple of crackers coming up.
All righty. Let's get this. This is a massive game. Green Bay and Minnesota.
Packers to throw the ball.
They have to.
Vikings to stop the run. This is what they've done.
Yep.
So that's nerve-wracking for Jacobs fans.
Yep.
And Justin Jefferson is on one. So you know what? Justin Jefferson...
I'll be interested if Alexander is back, though.
We said he would score a touchdown for the rest of the year, and he has done so since. So it's a Justin.
Is Alexander back, though?
I don't even think it matters. First game back, I reckon Jefferson would have his measure.
Yeah.
You know what it's like your first game back. It's tough your first couple.
He's been out for a while.
If Alexander is there, though, that's scary. Addison has become a beast. Monster. But I'm chasing that Hockenson touchdown.
Yeah, I know.
Look, I'll be going for the Vikings at home there. I want to see them win that, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers did win.
Yeah.
Hey, $2 for Packers and $1.80 for Minnesota right now. You can. They're saying it's coming out of the last drive.
Yeah.
I'm saying to you, Justin Jefferson.
Great game.
Will be getting 15 targets.
Yeah.
This is a wild. You know when it's finals on the line. Yeah. They don't muck around. No. It's targets to all the guns.
But Najigba and Metcalf had a good game last week against that secondary in Minnesota. So who are you looking to from a wide receiver point of view then? Are you going back to Watson again, or are you doing someone else? Because they're susceptible big time there in the passing game, the Vikings.
Reed.
Okay.
In the slot.
Love it.
Reed in the slot.
Love it. Excellent.
And then Watson's your deep threat.
Excellent.
So he'll be the one going, wait, okay, let's throw that play now. And if he can catch it, it's like a 50-yard bomb. I think he's caught 50-yard catches or 40 plus, 3 of his last 4.
Good. Indoors as well, so you know it's going to be on. Mate, it's great.
Both quarterbacks
set up beautifully.
Slinging the ball. Yeah. Hopefully defenses give up.
Yeah, it's good. Green Bay's defense has been really good, though.
But these games to finish are great. Unbelievable.
Atlanta, Washington. At Washington.
Commanders give up a lot, I thought, naturally in the air, and they are traditionally hard against the run.
Yes.
So I'm thinking it's all about Penix with his arm, but being a rookie quarterback, you just take Commanders to win.
I was going to say they could get after him.
Oh, mate, get Commanders to win. And the Falcons, if you thought about last week, who'd they play last week?
It was Mooney. They played Giants.
Giants.
But they scored 2 touchdowns from pick sixes and that, but it's Mooney.
Who'd they play the week before the Falcons?
Oh, good question.
I'm just looking at what their pattern of behaviour has naturally been. And
Bijan's been the monster, but they might just go heavy in the box again like they did against Philly.
The Falcons haven't played anyone the last 2 weeks, man. I reckon they'll get absolutely fed by, I reckon McLaurin might give them a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, they played Vegas the week before and won 15-9.
Yeah. Crowder's the interesting one. He's a slot receiver.
Yeah.
He's always good for a few receptions, and he 2 touchdowns on the weekend.
Yeah.
Zacchaeus was involved heavily.
Yeah.
Brian Robinson's down. He's going down in his stocks a little bit.
Yeah.
Look, this is an easy one, though. I just think you take Commanders to win.
Yeah.
And Penix would go over 200. He's a natural passing quarterback. Hopefully they give you a bit of juice. Bijan Robinson you'd think would be used in the passing game.
Yeah. Yeah. Good call. Good call. Let's finish off strong here. Detroit, San Fran.
Well, you just saw what A-Chain did to the 49ers, and the Lions are giving up whatever you want in the pass game. So Debo, Jennings had a tough matchup last week. I think Jennings will come alive. I think you'll be looking at, mate, they've got a couple of Pearsall.
Again.
Debo's the main man. Debo's actually getting involved. You want a little player prop? Debo's getting involved in the run game.
Yeah, he is.
And his line's 10. It's 2 rushes for him. It's an interesting one, but it's all about Kittle for me.
It is.
And Jennings, I'm going to lead Jennings more than... Yeah, I think Jennings is going to be... He's one of their best receivers.
Yeah, he is.
And the Lions can't stop anything.
No, they can't.
Like Keenan Allen and DJ Moore and Adunze and all that. Like Caleb Williams threw 333 passing yards and he could not get it down there in the last... Like there's that many flat...
Still only scored 17 points,
Exactly.
That's right.
So you're looking at probably Purdy for 250 is a better bet. And then Jahmyr Gibbs on the ground.
You are going back to him again. Yeah. There is no doubt in my mind you are.
And the tight end position against like Jonah Smith, he ate up against them. So, again, you could go to Laporta.
Yes.
But I think Goff will control the game. They'll try lead, run the ball, get the clock out of there, save their defense from playing too much.
That's right.
And get themselves through to week 18.
Good point. I don't think anything else needs to be said in that area. I think you've said that very, very well. That's excellent.
Beautiful sip. Well
done.
I've written down some notes.
That's a big week. That is a huge week of week 17. We are really starting to get to the busy end with some implications on the line from playoff spots, and obviously it's championship week. So, I reckon we've given a pretty good shot here. So it's let's get it going.
Let me read out some notes.
Love it.
I don't think I wrote a few for the last few games, but let's just go through Falcons, Commanders, Packers, Vikings. Packers, we said that they will pass the ball. So Love, passing yards, and Jefferson. Actually, we'll leave that out because we're going to wait on.
Yep. We're going to wait. We'll wait on Alexander.
Okay, here's our NFL Week 17 preview notes. Sunday games are going to be happening as well this week. How good. Merry Christmas again. But Seattle run game with Walker. Touchdown dependent and yards provided he's all good to go. Obviously last week and short turnaround. Charbonnet. But we think Seattle in the run game. Look for that. Chargers and the run game through Gus Edwards.
Without a doubt.
We'll get to work. Look for that. Rams and Williams touchdown. We think over on his rushing yards. It goes through Puka, but Rams and the run game after what the Panthers did and McBride, we're still chasing him.
We'll still chase it.
So
we'll still chase it.
We'll put him in. The Colts and Taylor. I've got it highlighted as one of our best bets on the program.
Has to be.
I'm going to highlight it again in green, but he's one of our smash hits. Philly and Devontae Smith for me in the receiving game.
Yep.
If Hurts plays.
Yep.
And we love Barkley. He's on that. We're on that. Rushing yard.
We're on that train.
Bucks and Panthers. Panthers have been red hot the last month because Bryce Young has become the quarterback we thought he'd be. This defense against the run from the Bucks is elite. So look to the passing game. It's highlighted in green, but you can take Young 200 plus. I don't think you get that much juice, but you can tease that up with your own risk. But expect passing. Himmy Rush, as our man called him, Cooper Rush from Dallas, led the game and still went 290 plus.
Yep.
So they will be passing it. If you want to tail it on, Sip loves Thielen, and so do I.
Yep.
But Bucky Irving in the run game is where it'll be happening. And watch Evans as he chases the 1,000. It might not be this week. It could be next week, but he'll be getting a few targets, I reckon. So pretty simple game, that one. And then we've got Love passing against the Vikings.
Yep.
Run D's elite. Yes, Jacobs is a gun, but Love, he should be down. The Vikings should be up at home is what the bookies are saying. But we love him for passing yards and passing touchdowns. And then to finish, Gibbs rushing and Purdy passing with the Lions and San Fran game. The Lions secondary stopping nothing.
Yeah.
And they've got weapons. Yeah. They've got Kittle.
They do.
They've got Debo.
Yeah.
They've got Jennings and they've got Ricky. They've got no running back room. No. So expect that to happen. Mate, great week.
Yeah, big week. And I'm very excited. Very, very excited.
I'm as crook as a dog. And I'm going into Boxing Day, bloody 2-day bender down at Sereno, and fucking the games are on. Mate, I'm going to be nowhere. So I need to rest up. But Sip, tell you one thing, don't go to your family house when your old man's cooking the pavlova and go, fuck, what snacks you got? And have a banana. And apparently it's a sugar banana that you can only get them from the Vic markets. And fuck me. Hey, I'm lucky to be here, mate. The old man nearly gave me the left, right, good night for smacking it. Have you ever heard of a sugar banana?
I've never heard of it.
It's a rare banana that you can't find, and it's specifically for the pavlova or whatever he's making.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, mate.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, but you won't be here next week when we take you down in fantasy, baby. Championship week. The meatball, the rats, and the train up against Guinea and Sip. Hey, all the best once again.
Well done. All the best.
Hey, mate, the best man win. And good luck to everyone out there in championship football week. It's going to be fun. Week 17 in the bank. Our best bets, again, we'll post We'll do a bit more work this week on the run game. But everyone,
I think so.
Have a safe holidays, a Merry Christmas, spend it with your loved ones, and get around that Mitchell and Ness giveaway online because it's going to be massive. Thank you so much for your support this year, and we'll see you next year right back here. I think we're recording on the 2nd. It is on our calendar. We don't muck around. There's no break over here. It's just all business. It's all business, and that's why we're both in the granny because we put more time and effort into this than anyone. Probably need to get a real job. See you guys. Take it easy.